For the annotated bibliography assignment, you're going to be developing a list of the sources that you have found that you're going to use in your research paper, and you're going to be able to provide an annotation for each one of those individual sources. On this page here, I've given you some details regarding how many sources it is that you're going to have to include in the annotated bibliography and in the final paper, and I've given you some specific notes of things that you need to follow regarding how you're going to set up your annotated bibliography. Keep in mind that you have to have a minimum of 5 sources within this annotated bibliography, and each of these sources must come from the William Carey University databases. Each one of the annotations has to be at least a minimum of 6 sentences, and in the directions that are given to you in these 2 links, it tells you the annotations typically provide a summary of the source, an evaluation of the source, and any type of commentary about how this source is going to actually fit your research paper. So whenever you're going through and annotating your information, you want to be sure that you are reading the articles very carefully, and that you want to be sure that you're paraphrasing your information into your own words to be able to avoid any type of plagiarism. The annotated bibliography will be uploaded before the deadline, and I'll grade it as we progress through the process of putting together the research paper. On this first link here, titled Annotated Bibliography, you're going to be able to see the information where it explains how it is that the annotated bibliography is going to be set up. It gives you a brief overview up here at the top about what an annotated bibliography actually is, and in this handout here it gives you the different portions of what the annotated bibliography is going to accomplish. Keep in mind that each one of the annotated bibliographies is going to have a citation or a bibliography entry at the top. There's going to be some brief summary, evaluation, and response to what it is that's within the article about what is important regarding about your topic that you've chosen to argue on. Read through this very carefully to see all of the details that have to be included in the annotated bibliography, and then down here at the bottom you're going to see a preliminary version of what an annotated bibliography will look like. You'll notice up here that it gives you the bibliography information at the top, and of course this is all highlighted to kind of show you the different portions. You do not have to highlight on the final copy that you give me, but this kind of helps break down what the different portions of each one of the sections would be within the annotated bibliography. You'll have a citation or bibliography entry at the top that you'll get by clicking on the Cite button within the William Carey University databases. It'll provide the latest version of MLA for you in order to be certain that you're citing this correctly. You'll provide a brief summary, and that's just basically summarizing the information that's within the actual article. You'll evaluate what the article is saying, and then you'll have a response to what it is that was included within that article. I've given you a few little notes here regarding the way that you're going to format the document, and then in the second link that you'll see here that provides you with an example, it gives you some more detailed information about what a bibliography is, an annotation, how long your annotations actually have to be, and it tells you here they're typically around 150 words. Keep in mind that, and 6 sentences is the minimum that I'm particularly looking at. You'll see here on how the steps on how to get started, and then there's a sample of an annotated bibliography also provided for you to where you get to see the portions that are included within the annotated bibliography. You'll notice here that you have the bibliography at the top with the indentation underneath it, because each one of the items needs to be set up using what is called hanging indent, and you'll see that this is also done on this example right here. Now, I also want to provide you as part of this video with a sample of a student's annotated bibliography that was submitted in a colleague's class of mine, and you'll notice up here that it has the information at the top that tells your name, the class. Of course, this would be my name and then the date. This would be English 102. You have a brief heading at the top titled Annotated Bibliography, and then you'll notice here that the annotated bibliography is set up by providing the bibliography information at the top, and then of course the information that has to be included within the annotation. You'll notice that each one of the annotations are just simply back to back. Here's where one ended, here's where the other one began, and each one of them actually uses hanging indent to where the first line's at the margin and the other lines are going to be indented. You'll be able to see this same example whenever you're looking at the annotated bibliography that is listed for you here. Even though this one is relatively short, it shows the version of the hanging indent to where the first line's at the margin and the other lines are indented, first line's at the margin and the other lines are indented. So be sure whenever you're setting up your annotated bibliography to submit it to me that you do include your heading at the top, and you're going to want to be sure that you include each one of the bibliography entries in the correct order that they should be in. Now it tells you here in the directions that each one of the annotated bibliography entries need to be placed in alphabetical order, and that needs to be alphabetical order by the author's last name. As you'll see here, you have Brooks, next you have Coling. When you look at the example here, you have Bain and you have Markowitz. Okay. Whenever you have an article that is anonymous, that generally begins with a, an, or the at the beginning, of course this one has a number. It's inserted and moved over to where the number is actually at the bottom here. Whenever you look and continue through the example that's listed for you here, all of these have authors that are listed for them, so be sure that you put every one of those entries in alphabetical order by author's last name or by article title in alphabetical order whenever there is no author. If you have any questions about the annotated bibliography as you progress through this, please be sure to message me using Canvas inbox before the given deadline. You will upload this information into Canvas, saved as a PDF file, in order for me to grade and provide you feedback on these sources.